Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is MedioCore and I'm coming out of retirement for one last video where I'll be explaining the entire storyline of Tony Hawk's Underground 2. Not that long ago, I covered the original Tony Hawk where we followed the story of a 46-year-old weeaboo from New Jersey. This legend's name, Bobby B. This young man took the world by storm when he jumped over a flying helicopter with a sick McTwist, facing adversity, betrayal and romance along the way. Tony Hawk's Underground 2 is a direct sequel to this story, and I'll tell you right now, it's bad. The gameplay and the maps are, in my opinion, the best in the series, but the story, not so much. This can be attributed to the fact that at this point in time, Bobby B has already completed the hero's journey, but more importantly is the jackassification of skateboarding. If you don't have a receding hairline or lower back problems, let me explain what Jackass is. Way back when MTV, a channel mostly known for showing anything but music, greenlit a TV show that followed a group of stuntmen, skateboarders and social misfits as they engaged in stunts such as these. Now back in 2004, this was the coolest thing ever for some reason. Arguably the most popular cast member was professional skateboarder Margera, who quickly became the face of mid-zero skating culture. His infamy was so widespread that in 2003, MTV developed a show called Viva where the audience would follow Bam in a heavily dramatized version of his life. He went around skateboarding, messing around with his entourage, and basically being kind of a dick to friends and family alike.
What did you do to the television set?
I'm trying to nose
It's
fly.
all crap!
I have a demo tomorrow. It's raining. I gotta practice. Gotta practice somehow.
Go outside and skate!
It's raining.
At this point in time, if any form of media had something to do with skateboarding, Margera's name would be attached to it. So when it was revealed that he would be co-starring alongside Tony Hawk in the newest iteration of his game, it made so much sense. They really altered the game's setting and story to fit into Bam's branding as well. Back then, it was awesome. 20 years have passed, and now it's less so. And as I'm sitting here in my cozy editing suite, I am actively questioning how I can make this story into an entertaining video. But damn it if I'm not gonna try. At the start of the game, we find ourselves back in our hometown, New Jersey. Bobby B, a now full-fledged pro skater, despite committing countless atrocities on Russian soil, is tearing it up. But his skate session is cut short when he gets kidnapped by two masked individuals. My back is broken. Eric Sparrow, our nemesis from our last adventure, also returns. I wonder how they'll use him this time around. Hello, it's me, professional skater Margera.
What's happening, fellas? In case you're wondering why Bam and I invited you here tonight,
World Destruction Tour. Around the world sick as hell skating competition that Tony and I threw together and you jagoffs are gonna compete in.
I can't, I have the kids this weekend.
we're splitting into two teams. I'll be the captain of one team,
And the captain of my team will be... Oh, Bill.
and some ridiculous stunts and challenges.
Like that. 50 points if you get someone to hose their pants.
So yeah, this story mode is basically an episode of Viva la Bam.
There's gonna be no cameras, no press, and no crazed fans. Oh, and one more thing. The losing team pays for the entire trip.
I can't, I have to pay a lot of alimony. Now that the stage has been set, it's time for the team captains to pick teammates. We know that Bobby B is the best skater ever. It's like the normal laws of physics have never applied to him. So naturally, he is picked last, losing out to a 10-year-old that has broken every single bone in his body.
Come on, kid. These guys suck. You're with me.
So Tony comes in pretending he didn't pick him last either. Now that the teams have been set up, the tour is ready for its first destination, Boston. It's worth noting that at the start of the game, Bobby B has lost all of his stats that he got in the first one. This pissed him off.
Stupid.
After a few days in the ICU, the gang was ready to set off to Boston. Here, Tony had prepared a very special list of goals, such as petty vandalism, dancing and locating founding father Benjamin Franklin. Now each level consists of 4 playable characters: the player's custom skater, a pro skater teammate, a secret skater and a special guest with a modified vehicle. If there's one thing to take away from this, it's that Benjamin Franklin shreds. Every once in a while, you will receive an SMS text message on your Motorola mobile phone. Tony Hawk says that they contain useful information. They don't. So the 4 team members try their hardest to earn as much points as they can. Most notably, they'll receive points for riding a kid out of a hospital to meet Tony Hawk.
Hey, he still needs surgery!
Ow! It really is Tony Hawk. Now I feel much better. I think I'll go skate.
It was at this point that I found out that you cannot spin with the hospital bed.
Hey, he still needs surgery!
Next on our list was doing tricks on the beat. I'm a pasty white dude, so I could never do this. After destroying half of downtown Boston, the team has enough points to move on to the next city. We close out the level by watching Bam do what Bam does best, terrorizing the local populace of whatever location he is visiting.
You're retarded.
No, you are! Oh!
No matter how many points you get in a level, Bam's team will almost always win.
And that's a win for us.
The losing team has to face the Wheel of Loogies. I promise you this made sense at the time. So every scenario on the wheel is a punishment for the losing team or something that switches up the dynamic of the tour. In this case, it's a tennis ball to the testicles.
That sucks.
So Bob Burnquist is eliminated from our team and the rest of us moves on to Barcelona. Bobby B, dressed exactly right for the location, sets off on completing goals such as helping Pegleg the pirate, freeing a matador from captivity, and lastly, finding Jackass cast member Steve-O on a mechanical bull. It's pretty sick. After many crimes against humanity later, the team is ready to move to the next location. And for once, Tony is in the lead.
With the killer session you had here, that puts us back in the lead.
You mean that puts us back in the lead, bro? Since you and I are the newest pros, we're getting traded. Thanks for the points, homie. Huh?
So Bobby B joins Margera's squad.
Mi grande chorizo es el jefe, mamacita.
At this point, it has become clear that the general public has got a wind of the World Destruction Tour, which was exactly the one thing no one on the tour wanted. And even though they don't know it yet, this will have dire consequences. Also, I can't imagine not going to jail for this.
It's like the word's out, boys. This thing is no longer just between us.
So Bobby B joins Bam's team and they set off to Berlin, where they engage in various tasks such as puking on police officers, lighting their heads on fire,
My head is on fire!
and locating Polly, who despite being confined to a wheelchair has somehow ended up over here. Not wanting to lose after getting swapped to another team, Bobby B urges everyone to get the maximum amount of points, after which he is swapped once more.
The Haka-Loogie hit rookie swap again, and we got our old teammate back.
It's at this point we're introduced to Nigel Beaverhausen.
Nigel Beaverhausen, writer, producer, director. When I did my first skate video, Crunch Crackers and Grape Splitters 7, the kids went nuts for it.
So Nigel tells the skaters that he can make an audio-visual presentation on digital versatile disc of their tour. In response, they steal his pants and hang him on his truck with duct tape. The gang then sets off for Sydney, but not before making a detour to Bangkok. The YouTube guidelines and Bobby B's team of lawyers prevent me from showing any footage. Alright, time for Australia. This should be an easy win because Bam's team is still stuck in Bangkok. We can already get started with violating lifeguards, finding the shrimp vendor, and I'm not touching this. What I really like about this level is the accuracy of the Australian accent.
Hey, mate, throw a few shrimp on the barbie.
Australian, and I happen to think that my accent was flawless. Excuse me, mate, can you help us get out of here? Flawless!
With maximum efficiency, Team Hawk earns as much points as it possibly can. But unfortunately, Bobby B is the last one to earn his points, and since Team Hawk is now behind, he must be sent home.
Do you have any final words?
Guess I'd just like to say...
Ow! Wait a minute. Phil, you didn't add this right. We didn't lose. It's a tie. I guess I should have carried the one.
At this point, it becomes clear that Nigel Beaverhausen has actually been following and filming the group, releasing a digital versatile disc of their shenanigans. So the challenge is clear. Eric and Bobby must ruin Nigel's life in the best way they see fit. The loser will be sent home. So Eric proceeds to steal his clothes, which Bobby B then uses to piss off the local populace.
You got bird crap all
As one might expect, the Australians didn't take too kindly to this. These felonies impressed everyone so much that Bobby B was the undisputed winner.
What about me? Guys! I don't have a ticket home!
And that's how professional skateboarder Eric Sparrow died as a result of blunt force trauma. Those of us who are still alive move on to New Orleans during Mardi Gras. Here we can slap a riverboat, saving Nolans from the apocalypse and finding a jester. Hey Tony, I found him. The jester is actually sick at skateboarding. Fun fact about New Orleans is that Louisiana voodoo culture is a big part of its history. Even to this day it's being kept alive, mostly by white people with dreadlocks. Fittingly, a voodoo doctor on a tricycle is a secret character for this level, and he has the sickest backstory of all.
I grew up in New Orleans. My nana the one who raised me. One Halloween, I come up with, "Who do you voodoo, bitch?" Just as a motherfucking joke, you know?
So the voodoo doctor zombifies the population of Nolans and opens up a portal to actual hell. It's up to Bobby B to dive straight into the pits of hell and invoke the power of Jesus Christ. The Holy Father then smites the evildoer back into the swamp. All of this is a goal on the list. This can only mean that Bam and Tony both have prior knowledge of the existence of hell and black magic. As we close out the level, Beaverhausen shows up with a final offer. The tour has gone on for a while now, and considering the severity of our crimes, the event has become quite expensive. If we give him footage of our final destination, he'll pay for everything.
You got a deal.
Bloody brilliant!
But first, it's time for the Wheel of Loogies. Tony is so far behind that there's no way they can make this up. Unless...
The Equalizer? The Equalizer is a gnarly all-team stunt. You pull it off and we're all tied up.
The climax of the previous game was a helicopter jump. They tried to replicate that same action here, but the difference is that our teammates are the ones that have to appropriate the helicopter. So, the teams are all tied up now. Unfortunately, all of our teammates get sent to jail.
They'll be fine. They've been busted for skating many times.
I'm not a lawyer, but this might be more severe than skateboarding.
I have to skate the final leg alone?
Would I really leave you hanging like that? I'm skating with you. You and I are gonna bring it home.
So with no teammates to support them, Tony and Bobby make their way to Skatopia.
Circled the globe, invaded 4 continents, and pissed off a lot of people.
I wouldn't change a goddamn thing. Luckily, we have 14-year-old skating wunderkind Ryan Sheckler on our side. But unfortunately, his board got jacked by the legendary Bigfoot, which turned out okay as soon as Bigfoot showed us that he f***ing shreds. Finally, Team Hawk earned all the points it possibly could. In response, Bam set out to start a forest fire for the lols, not thinking about letting anyone evacuate before him.
Gotta get out of here! Let's take the critters with us!
Once again, it's up to Tony to be the responsible adult, saving many animals from death by burning.
Yo, what's that rookie still doing way up there? Hey, loser! Let's make this interesting. We're up, but if you can bust Skatopia in one combo, you get 1,000 points.
So Bobby B easily manages that and wins the World Destruction Tour on behalf of Team Hawk. As promised, the guys supplied Nigel Beaverhausen with footage. This clip went on to sell millions of copies as soon as Nigel found a niche clientele for it, making way more money than a digital versatile disc of the tour would have made. The story ends with Nigel Beaverhausen getting pantsed. And that is the end of the World Destruction Tour. The narrative to me is quite weak and juvenile, making the endpoint feel not as rewarding as it best game ever! So yeah, this game stood the test of time alright. Thanks for watching all the way to the end. I really hope you enjoyed watching this time capsule as much as I enjoyed making it. If you want to help out the channel, that's always appreciated, and the best way to do this is by liking the video and subscribing.